Hello, my name's Hudd. I'm a psychic, clairvoyant, and medium. Please subscribe, share, and like these predictions for June 2020 if you enjoy them. Right, this is a wonderful month and a wonderful time and brand new experiences for you. This month is about freedom. So, freedom can come in many different forms, and you'll enjoy yours right now because you'll experiment. You'll certainly be bold and confident with your conversations. You'll be a little bit noisier and a little bit louder. And this is across the whole world. We seem to be wanting to have our opinion heard by everybody. So everything here is going to feel like that it's on full maximum volume. So try to hold things here a little bit together. The best information that will come across is that is said in a very much more in a calm way. So don't argue with relationships and think that that's going to win battles for you, or start screaming at your governments and think that they're going to listen more. Remember, both relationships and governments know how to close their ears when you seem to be saying the same old things. So all your conversations now have to have a different edge to them. And maybe that's a good thing that you've had plenty of time to ponder and think about what now has become very important in your life. You're on this amazing and extraordinary spiritual journey. And that journey is going to show you a purpose, what you need to express yourself on, the good that you need to do for this world to make this place a loving and kind and sharing and caring and keeping it all equal. I've told you already before that from last year we were on a 5-year journey. So now we're on year 4, on a journey that was actually saying to you now, this has to get better. The only way that we can move forward is by loving and caring and being equal. This imbalance that has been going on for such a long time and has still been going on over the last few months here. Rules for one, and other people have to abide by those rules, not this fairness which we're needing. So Spirit now are going to try harder. They're going to show you different ways and more important ways. So this is when the natural elements and the environment will change itself. So if you've had hot weather, you're going to get cold weather. If you've had a dry period, you're going to get heavy rain. You'll get everything here that makes you react in a completely different way. And that will change your spirit, your spirited attitude to life. You'll say it's now or never. It's my opportunity. And then we see what you've really learned. You're certainly now feeling a little bit more rested, but still with a lot of anxiety and frustration. So this is going to bring in a lot of demonstrations across the world. You're thinking to yourself, well, it can't do because we're still on some kind of lockdown and they're still going to keep these restrictions in. But people are going to break those rules. You're either going to be a rule setter or a rule breaker. And this month of June is going to show that in a huge way. So I'm expecting lots of demonstrations, lots of governments wishing that they could literally hide in a cupboard and ignore everything here that was going on. Because as this is the month now of people power, having that power, momentum, and energy that they haven't had ever before, this is going to make people more gutsy and determined. So it's actually very exciting. So we have the different demonstrations, and certainly the French government and the German government will have to watch out in particular. And the Chinese are not going to know whether it's Christmas, summer, winter, or whatever season, because everything here is being fired at them. You'll hear and see some of the worst dramas and some of the most peaceful things that have got results that we all thought was going to be impossible. So it may come in June, particularly in the East, as extremely challenging and hurtful, and how could things get any worse? But certainly by the middle, it's like the whole world comes out here. We've learned to do this togetherness. So because we all want freedom, and this is what this is about. This is about fighting for your justice and fighting for things that are right for us all and not just a few. So the government will start off doing things that they think is pretty much okay. They will be helping out the big boys again. So, okay, you lot out there, you're going to be absolutely fine. But it is going to be where the small businesses and even a lot of the factories and particularly if you've been furloughed during this journey we've all been going on, then your jobs are still not safe because they've been working, or if you've not been working at all and the company hasn't been going at all, then they're going to struggle to really pick up the pieces because the government's going to be in your back pocket helping you out one moment, and the next minute you're not going to see them for love nor money. They're going to say there's too many things going on. Well, in particular in the UK, there is here a lot going on because all of a sudden Brexit's back on. So they're going to be looking at negotiations. And you'll find the EU is not prepared to be flexible in any shape or form during this month. They think that you're preoccupied with all the other dramas that are going on. So they're going to play hardball. And you think that they've been playing hardball and not being flexible at all in the past, but they're going to be a lot worse now. But this is actually going to be the downfall and the downfall of them. Because you will find then, as I still believe that we will be heading for a no-deal policy at the end of the year, we have to be very careful about commitments and things that we actually say to the EU during June and July time on our assets. And we haven't got many assets left. This is what we're about to build on now. We're about to build on our restructuring and building and helping us to be, as I said last month, so much more self-sufficient. We're going to do things because we are ready to have a giant kick up the backside from other people's countries. And so we have to show here firmness and great leadership. And it's no good just talking and then retreating back. We have to mean what we say and back it up by saying, I don't care how much you bully us or tell us what to do, because the bully boys will be out in all shapes and forms. So just be a little bit careful. If you haven't got the nicest and easiest boss, they might push you around a little bit more or demand a lot more from you. Feel that you've had a holiday. Want to fill their pockets back the way that it used to be. But as long as you're getting a fair whack here and that you're doing things that you feel are comfortable and not pushing yourself to a maximum of breaking point. Remember that we still are in this mental health year. And so everything is really sort of dramatic to us and affects us really quickly. And this knock-on effect now, it's been really sort of building itself up. So as there is a lot of changes that are coming back on, we have to reflect back over. So we will look back at our relationships and say, how have they made us feel? How supportive have we felt? Well, if it's a slight sort of, I'm not really sure, then I'm afraid your relationship won't stand a chance. You will find even some of what we call the strongest family royals and that will have huge big cracks over the next few weeks. And no matter how much they're trying to build things and build things together, it's not really going to work. And there is going to be an announcement of a pregnancy that comes in around the royals, and this will be possibly even the early part of July, but maybe the latter part of June time, just to try to get that feel-good factor, or talking about a feel-good factor. But I don't think it's going to bring the warmth and the coziness that it would have normally, because people are very rattled about their financial losses. So everything that has been given to you is only being loaned to you. And there will be pressing buttons to get everything back. So even though you may not have your full-time hours, you may not have the income coming in, being small businesses and that, they're not going to wait. So banks and governments are going to be pressing your buttons to say, look, we've done our bit. Now it's down to you. So there's going to be a lot of difficulties with paying mortgages, with paying cars off. There's going to be repossessions with cars. And I've told you before, the car industry is going to be in a really, really sticky place. And I keep saying to you, hold off and wait for your bargains. But they're going to be sort of uprooting and going different places. So don't expect everybody, particularly in the motoring industry, to really be doing well. And that includes a lot of delivery. Like it is where there's been hundreds of delivery companies that have all been starting up and now they're struggling. And you would think, well, shops are opening, everything's going to get back to normal. But what is normal anymore? Because you've been used to shopping in a different way and doing things now in a different way. And so this is why this spiritual journey is far more important to you. So those of you that are looking for relationships and wanting to build relationships, this includes different countries who may have been worst of enemies before, will want to make peace. They'll start wanting to talk. So maybe you'll talk to an old flame, or a government will talk to a country that they've had all these disagreements with, and maybe the public will be thinking, I don't want this to carry on anymore. We need to call this a day. We've done as much fighting and arguing as we possibly can. And it's going to be very difficult for other countries to poke and prod to try to keep this momentum going. So there's going to be a lot of leaders and that they're going to be falling out with other leaders and saying, oh, we used to be in bed with this country, but we're not going to be anymore. The United States is actually going to do much better during this month because they do think in a very much more financial way. And I know you'll say every country does this, but they don't. They have other ulterior motives and that. So they will be looking at things differently. So I'm expecting stocks and shares to go all up and down, all over the place throughout the world. And this could end up becoming, and I'm not sure whether it's going to be the worst crash, but it's going to be pretty close to it. And it's either that or November is going to be the worst of the worst. So there's a little bit here of balance. So it's November is going to be actually worse than now, than June's. It's just because the stock market is just even going to cease trading and saying, we've got to stop this now because it's getting out of control. So those that are thinking here in a very much more in a smart way and looking after their own country is actually going to do better. So this is where leaders need to really start paying attention about what is important. Is it their own country, or is it getting into bed with other countries and being seen as being their pals? It's about deal breaking. So this is why that we're going to have more complications when it comes to Europe, because they're going to try to tax us on top of tax on top of tax when we're struggling with money. Okay, yes, we can invent new currency and do things, and we will be working in a new currency way. So we will invent our own money, and our own communities will bring that to the forefront, that it will be something you'll be able to use in your local area because it has value. And everything you do at this moment is about value in your own area. So this is where you need to get together with your neighbours, your communities, and start building it, helping out. So if you've got droughts in your country, then your neighbour can provide water and get piping in and do things. We have to start working together. This is the only way that we're going to get through this period with smoothness, and so that we don't keep going through these rough patches. So I've said to you before, this here is a man-made situation. It was made here so that we gave away everything, and we've given away our rights. There's nothing left that we have any control over. We have to listen to particular news or TV stuff, and it's the same old stuff all the time. So it's sort of been brainwashing us, or feel like it is. And now we're saying we can't deal with this. We need to have something clearer. So this is the beginning of a new way of educating ourselves. We educate ourselves by being fair, by looking at both sides, picking the bits out and seeing what genuinely is fake and what isn't fake. What do we need to know? It's a little bit like when the price of fuel is about to go up and they turn around and say to us it is going to be 20 pence, and they're going to keep telling us in the news it's going to be 20 pence a litre, big jump for us all. And then when it comes down to it, it's just 10 pence. And then we go, oh, well, that's all right. It was 10 pence. It was okay. And now we're not going to accept that that was just 10 pence, because that is still going to knock us. That's still going to hurt. So we now see that they're chucking out information and giving us information to try to make it easier. But because we're gutsy and we have courage and we don't care, and it's the freedom that comes in, it's actually really exciting that we won't let governments carry on the way that they are. So the political system, and those that got massive majorities and those that got very narrow majorities and just hanging on, it isn't going to make any difference. They're all going to come in and all behave like they've got the very smallest majority. It will be those people that are turning on themselves. So this is why this sort of fallout with anybody and everybody, because if you see that it's affecting you, then you're going to want a different journey or a different life or a different way. So anything is possible. Some of the biggest wins financially will be coming now in this month. Some of the luckiest people. It will be the poorest man on the street that wins the biggest lottery win. So their life could change and they could change the world because they know what it's like not to have anything and still end up having something at the end of it. So if you need love, you're going to get it. If you need a job, you'll get it. But you'll get a different kind of job. You'll get a job that suits your talents. And I know a lot of people say, well, this job definitely doesn't suit my talents. But how quickly you'll rise from that job and the skills that you learn are going to help you through the remainder of this year. So don't forget those normal things. Keep your cupboards full. Keep them with enough storage so that you can maintain your survival, because prices are going to go up. With foods, you should have noticed they're already going up. But foods, because of crop damage and wind changes and natural earth tremors, water rising, all sorts of crazy things that are going to go on. We've got between June and September time where it's like somebody is really shaking the world up. And we're literally going to be saying, hang on to your hats, we're going to need it. So if you think in that way, and it's not there, oh, if you think negative things, then it's going to happen in a negative way. Wouldn't you rather have a cupboard with some food in that you could share with somebody else and celebrate that and not have the stresses of it and not jump on the bandwagon, so that the shops and that know that they can't just take from a pocket that's already empty? We have the power and the control. And now it's time that others listen to how we would like this world to be run. And we are no longer leaving it to a few people that just seem to be doing things in a way that we don't understand. We are not stupid, and we are not going to be expected to be treated in a stupid way. There is going to be many leaks. So not leaks with water, leaks with technology. So all that info and those rules and that have said to you, oh, you've got the freedom. You can go where you like. We are not going to do anything with all your documentation, your details. We're not going to do anything with it. It's just going to be there. We're going to delete it and get rid of it. Not happening, will be there and will always be there. Everything that is done so far will find that it has been set in stone. It's only now that this month that you get the opportunity to change. So they'll tell you have the freedom to take medication, injections, and that it's down to you. But then they'll restrict you in every way. They'll say to you, you can't travel, you can't go on holiday, you can't do this and you can't do that. You can't send your child to school unless now this will be coming in, unless it's had all the vaccinations and that. So you've lost all this freedom. So you have to start looking now, how can I take back my world? How can I be part of this world rather than being a robot? Something that you said you never wanted to be, this is what we've now all turned into. We are frightened to say and do anything. And this month gives us the opportunity to have this back. So I know this has sounded like a really scary month because I seem to have spent a lot of time telling you the doom and gloom, but it isn't. If you are bold and confident and brave and you just figure out that some of the rubbish that people have been telling you for years about how clever you are and confident you are and how well you look, and start thinking to yourself, do you know, I am well, I am confident, I can do things. Why am I not doing anything at this moment in time? You will be one of the pioneers, the conquerors. You are the person that has reached out to your spirituality. The stuff here that says, my life has to mean something. And if you're ready for all of that, this is going to be a brilliant kickstart, a brilliant life. And I know things will get better. Think lucky, be lucky. Thank you so much for having the patience and the time in listening to me. And if you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe to it and tell all your friends about it. My name is Sue Hudd. I'm a psychic, clairvoyant and medium. And I do private readings when we're allowed, but I also do Skype and telephone readings. So please give me a call if you would like to have some personal information for yourself. If not, have an amazing time and look forward to July time. It is a breakthrough, a great breakthrough, even better than this one. So watch for the dramas, watch for the leaders going. Thank you.